Hi folks, I'm Matt and welcome to My Expanded Universe, a show where I go through the entire EU in chronological order as best I know how. Folks, we are talking about the final comic book series by Dark Horse Comics, and we're going to talk about issues 6 through 10 here of the Legacy series, written by Corino Becno and Gabriel Hardman. Now, in this story arc, Darth Red, who was introduced in the first series, he has gone on a mission to eliminate the one Sith. Yes, he wants to kill them all off. And the Galactic Federation, they know about this and they're fine with it. They decide to not do anything. They're not going to stop him. Let him run rampant. Let him eliminate the enemy for them. Let him hunt down and rout them out because they don't like him either. So Darth Red is a character we got introduced. I should have mentioned this in the first story arc. He's introduced there. He's going to be out throughout the series. He's kind of one of the main antagonists there. And he's going to have an interesting story, and they're not going to deliver his backstory yet, but for right now, we just know that he's the bad guy who's killing the bad guy, so is he like the anti-hero? Now, of course, Anya and her gang, her friends, decide to, track down Darth Red. That just ain't right. No Sith is a good Sith, and I kind of agree with that. And this is something else I failed to mention too. Her friends. I want to talk about her little get-along gang here, because I think I mentioned Salk, I think is his name, the Mon Calamari from the first story arc. I wanted to talk about him a little bit more. Now, Salk's character is very interesting. He's a refugee from his planet, of course, Mon Calamari. No one suffered more than they did in the Legacy series. So he's got an interesting backstory of who he is, and I really liked the character. I really like the character Salk. And then there's another character I don't want to talk about right now because I want to focus on them in the next story arc, because that's when their story arc kind of really builds up a little bit. But one that everyone knows is AG-37. Now, AG-37 is a IG-88 type assassin droid, same look, just different number and designation. And we find out, and I think this is the story arc where they reveal this, he has a connection to Han Solo and Chewbacca from the very, the original trilogy. Somehow along the way, he's met them and he is fulfilling a promise. He has a promise to fulfill or something from Han Solo. So there's that mysterious hook. And you're like, what's going on? Who is he? And I remember the forums were just aflame with who, we were all speculating on who he was. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Randy Stradley even commented in some of the chats too, because everyone had these wild fan theories. I remember one was that he's R2-D2, just deposited into a different data bank. That doesn't make any sense. That was stupid. And Randy Stradley shut that down. He did leave it open that, he's probably encountered R2 before. And then you're thinking, well, yeah, during the original trilogy. But then everyone immediately went to, he's C-3PO. I don't believe the C-3PO rumors. I don't think that's true. Now, where is C-3PO? We've seen R2-D2 in Legacy, but we haven't seen C-3PO. It's very conceivable that he's out there. We don't know where he is. It would be nice. But that people are saying, well, he may have downloaded his memory into this assassin droid. And if you remember an old Droids comic book series, there was 3PX, right? The assassin droid that looked just like C-3PO. And so people are trying to make all these connections saying it's probably C-3PO. Now, to my knowledge, and I did a small check before doing this video here, they haven't revealed what their plans was with AG-37. What was the big secret? What was the big reveal? Obviously, this series fell victim to the Disney takeover, and the series had to end too soon. I'll talk about all that later. But this was probably the biggest mystery. For Dawn of the Jedi, I mentioned was the Rakatan and how they're losing their force powers. That was an interesting hook that we never got to see revealed. For Legacy Part 2, sadly, it was AG-37. And I'll be honest, AG-37 is a fantastic character too. Absolutely love AG-37. Very interesting, very entertaining, and just another wonderful character. Legacy, these two writers, I don't know if they get enough credit, because to me, their stuff was on par with Ostrander. Like I said in my last video, I didn't even realize I had stopped reading Ostrander. I didn't realize Ostrander left the book. I just assumed he was still, and then I remember one day I was looking at it, I was like, oh, it's not written by him, but I was still enjoying it nonetheless. So they did a really good job keeping true to that era of Star Wars and the feel that John Ostrander, this world that he had created, they continued on flawlessly. And of course, we're picking up pieces from the past. You know, the one Sith are out there, they're kind of hidden. You have this character Darth Red, and he's kind of interesting. There's another character, but like I said, I'm not going to talk about him yet, but maybe, just maybe, I'll talk about him next time in another video. See you then.